Let's go. All right. Welcome to the Daily Money Markets. My name is Che Yusuf. I'm the host of the Daily Money Market. So today, I'm actually with you guys. Just trying to go and look back what the market has been performing. What's the biggest news that been performing in the market at the moment? For the past 2 months, you might say. We've been having a very, very exciting, a month or 2 month from, or I can say exciting year from the beginning of, 2024, Jan up to date. It's been a very, 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 very nice, we've seen a lot of things like Jamie Dimons wants the US recessions not to off the table yet. Actually, if you actually been following the market since November last year 2023 to December to January, the talk that they were there, it's about the recession. Everyone in terms of the market analyst, the economist from United States, they were expecting United States to get into recession a little bit. Some analysts, they already says that the recession has been already happening, since where we saw last year the increasing of interest rate. The interest rate goes all the way a little bit high to 25 basis points to 50 basis points. They even get all the way to the level of 75 basis points. So that's what actually, a lot of analysts think that the recession has already been, happening. Some analysts, and including the policymakers, the Federal Reserve policymakers, including the chair himself, Jeremy Powell, said that the recession hasn't. They've been dodging the bullet in terms of actually the country or US economy get to the recession. So the Jimmy Jones also still putting the questions that is the recession actually finished, or we still actually on a system whereby we're gonna get to recession. So I'm gonna just dive deeper, a little bit deeper into why Jimmy Dimons wants US recession not off the table yet, right? So Jimmy Dimons is actually the CEO of JP Morgan, says to the Fed should wait before the cutting rates, and says when the Trump an amazing political figure but unpredictable. So couple of things that are actually happening. We are getting into US. We are getting into US uh, voting elections, which is a lot of countries also they're gonna go on a vote. The other contestants on the voting in the United States, it's Donald Trump. Now, the Donald Trump is a type of president or type of guy that comes with the presidency whereby they are unpredictable. So a lot of economists and the market analysts, they said Donald Trump, when it comes, he is unpredictable. And we remember when the time Donald Trump actually, won the elections. I remember that time we were actually, working from the office. We were no longer working from home. We were working from the office that time. We were watching the elections every single day through Bloomberg's to actually follow what exactly is happening. And again, how is it affecting the market? We saw NASDAQ from that time moving all the way to 13,000, 14,000, 15,000, based on just Donald Trump being elected as a president of the United States. So he is an unpredictable guy, including the whole presidents of his and his party. They are very unpredictable. They are the guys that they can say, that they say Jerusalem should be, a capital city of Israel, for example. They are the guys that they can actually, start bombing whatever Middle East countries if they are not actually correlated with them. Trump was the guy no actually tell Huawei to no longer actually sell in the United States. You remember that time they cut the red tape in terms of Huawei and the Android. So Huawei, they used to use Android as their operation system on the Huawei phones. But when Donald Trump came, he said these guys, they're producing phones, but the motherboard of the phone, they're taking it from US. At the same time, no one from United States is actually benefiting because of Huawei is being produced in China. That means in terms of the labor, still, it's actually, all the way, the Chinese, that the only ones that are actually, winning or participating and those guys, they're actually putting money in a economy of China. So they had a trade war, if you remember. Donald Trump, including with the president of China, they had a little bit of a trade war where they had a conversation, but they didn't agree until Trump decided to say, "Hey, no ways, guys. You know what we need to do is to cut the ties with these guys. If these guys they want to produce their own phones, they should find their own operation system." Then yes, of course, Huawei find their own operation system. They start using their own, operation system. So I got the books today here. This is the book in terms of you learn how to you learn stock indices and commodities, teaches you how to to learn the stocks and commodities. This is the master trader manual one, teaches you also about the forex and how the financial market are actually going. There's couple a lot. I have learned forex course manual. I have the millionaire within. So it gives you the knowledge of how the millionaires or how they become the millionaires, the big guys. So all right, we're still on a story of a JP Morgan CEO warns the Federal Reserve that, hey, don't take it out, the recession, because Donald Trump is actually coming. So I was giving you guys the example how Donald Trump is being called an unpredictable president, how he can change things from very, very, small space of time. So the stories actually goes. Jamie Dimon said he wouldn't take the prospect of recession in the U.S. off the table, but the Federal Reserve should wait before it actually starting to cut the interest rate. So a couple of days ago, or a week ago, there was a Federal Reserve actually, Federal Reserve President Chair Jeremy Powell, testifying in the members of the parliament. We saw different types of members of parliament. To those who follow this type of financial news, and you could be able to actually, catch it. So we saw different types of, members of the parliament asking the question. One of the interesting questions that I actually pick it up from that testimonial or testifying of the members of the parliament, it's a couple of things. One, there was an MP from a Republican who actually asked in terms of how the economy of United States it's changing because of the foreigners. Now the question is, was it illegal foreigners or legal foreigners, right? So because of these guys, they are coming in, and whether they are actually illegal or legal, but they're actually finding jobs, finding small piece of jobs, and when they find those jobs, they start working. They get paid. When they get paid, a person need to eat. A person need to buy things for himself. A person need to buy clothes. Where are you buying those clothes? Where are you buying those food? You are actually buying to manufacturing companies, or you buying to shops that are from United States, that product produced by companies that are based in the United States. So that was the question, that how does your policy consider the foreign people that are coming in? Do we have to give them the citizenship so that they can actually really, really start boosting the economy? Or what we should do? So Jeremy Powell didn't answer in that question. I was really, really surprised why. But again, because of how politics it is now, and how Donald Trump is an unpredictable president, and it's coming in, and it can actually influence the policymakers of Federal Reserve. That is why the question was raised there. And the reason why I didn't answer the same point, because of politics shouldn't be involved with economic data. How the economic data grows, or how the economic data actually decline. So that's another story regarding the Jeremy Powell. And again, they ask him a different story in terms of the war. The United States right now, it's sponsoring millions and billions of money to the countries to fight the war, right? And this money is actually coming from the citizens, coming from the people who are in the United States, who are working, who are actually paying tax. So that's where there's a bigger challenge, that our citizens, they're paying tax, but you are taking this money or they were shipping it to Ukraine, or they were shipping it to Israel, so that these guys they can still buy the weapons, right? But if you look at it, drive really really deeper, you find out that these guys, the weapons that they're buying from the companies of the United States as well, right? So it means it's still benefiting them. I'm giving you money, but you are buying from me, right? The same money that I'm borrowing you, you're gonna owe me entire your life, but you are actually buying from me. So you're bringing that money back to me, to boost our economy. So that's how actually the presidencies of US, try to deal with their economy and to boost their economy. So some Democrats, they're actually thinking that we were wasting money for, giving these wars and stuff. And Jeremy Paul is still stand the same. He said his policies makers, it doesn't actually based on depending on the politics, or policy makers of the politicians, or actually, the rulers of the country. He's actually in the Federal Reserve to make sure he actually takes the data from the consumer price index, from the producer price index, from the GDP that comes from that specific country, and then make a decisions in terms of increasing the interest rate or decreasing the interest rate. So that's what Jeremy Powell, answered, and the questions they were coming in thick and fast. It was like 1.5 hour or 2 hour testimony, right? Now, the reason why these questions are coming is because there's unpredictable presidency that might have a chance to come back in power, and it might change a lot of things, or it might influence the Federal Reserve itself. Now, Jeremy Powell says they're expecting to start cutting the interest rate. That's where it's getting interested. That's why the CEO now of JP Morgan asking that, please put that thought on a hold, because we don't think the recession is yet over. We might happen that to see, everything starting spiking up again, and things start getting, really, really bad. So that's actually the news that comes in terms of the CEO from JP Morgan, and following up of the interest rate from all the way December, including how the politics are actually playing, and how they're actually affecting the economy of the United States. All right, so I think another biggest news as well that actually come on a month of between Jan and Feb. I think the biggest one was S&P 500, one of the companies from US actually, hitting the all-time high of 5,000 mark, right? And now, recently we saw, a bank of, is it BOFA? Uh, the buffer strategies boost the S&P 500 profit forecast to join the top bulls, right? So they're actually saying the Bank of America, they are the ones who actually boost S&P 500, so that they can actually reach to 5,000 mark in terms of how how S&P 500 has bullishing up. Now, if you look at it, in this Bank of America and the S&P 500, there is a story behind that, right? It's not just things just goes rising up and stuff. There's a story behind that. So we're gonna have to look into a couple of stories that has been happening through last year all the way to beginning of this year. Why S&P has been actually reaching 5,000 and above the 5,000 mark. All right. So before I go straight into the story, uh, but again, the article here, it says the profit to benefit from economic growth and AI investment cycle. Bank of America strategy rises S&P 500 a year end targeted last year, right? The S&P 500 will deliver a stronger than expected earnings in 2024, powered by resilient economic growth and artificial intelligence breakthrough, according to the Bank of America crop. Strategies who are now among the Wall Street most bullish profit forecasts at the moment. So the most bullish focus in the Wall Street at the moment, the stocks, including S&P 500, again including gold. We saw gold is actually rallying on its own, and then we saw also Bitcoin rallying on its own, getting to crazy numbers. So we might try also just to bring on how Bitcoin is performing and how actually is being influenced to get to at that level. So right here, the bigger story here, we should look at not S&P 500 itself. We should look at the Bank of America. So what happened is a few months ago, from November 2023, all the way getting to December, we do remember, if you were following this news, there was actually a bank crisis. So there was a couple of banks that they were having a little bit of a challenge in terms of the deposit accounts, right, guys? In terms of the deposit accounts. Now, by that time, I didn't know some of the things that I actually know now. What happened, right? So to us who are actually watching the market or market focus, we thought, or personally I thought, is just maybe the bank, they ran out of money, so that they can be able to actually service people, because that's how the media was selling it to us. That bank of it was what bank of that bank was actually sponsored by Bank of America. So there's a couple of banks. I'm gonna remember the name of the banks, and I'm gonna actually In fact, I'm gonna Google it and let you know the name of the banks. So what happened is, those bank, they starting now closing out the deposit account. Now, the reason why they closed the deposit account, the story was they are actually lacking having enough money to pump up in a deposit account so that people can be able to deposit the money and withdraw the money. Remember, when you are in the banking sector or running the bank, there's two books that you get, right? You get a book where it is a deposit account book. Then you get your book, which is a business book. So what it means is that whatever people they are putting money in the account, in the bank account, you as a bank, as an organization, you are not allowed to touch that. The only thing that you can take is the profit that made after that money, right? So in terms of the bank, we can say the interest that actually been made through a client depositing the money and withdraw the money, taking a loan, taking a finance, and so on and so forth. That interest then it goes to your organizational bank, right? So these banks, they ran out of the funds, and it was very very hectic to say that how did these banks run out of the money, because these are actually people's money that are putting money in their account. You are not supposed to take it, you are not supposed to use it, you are only supposed to use the profit that you are actually making from that movement over the chain of the business. So all of these banks, they were actually sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America had a stake on that actually banks. So we saw different CEOs being fired from those banks. And again, what they do, the Bank of America, they went to actually talk to the Federal Reserve. All right. So the bank that I was talking about, it's Silicon Bank. I think a lot of people, you do remember that Silicon Bank had a little bit of challenges in terms of deposit account. But there's a couple of banks also that were really really sponsored by JP Morgan, and different types of big bank or Bank of America, and that they end up actually corrupting because of the deposit. There's other bank here called CFPB Bank, CFPB Banks. So enforcement action. Let me check this article from the top. So CFPB Bank fines a US bank 37.5 million for illegally expropriating personal data to open a sham account for unsuspecting customers, right? So these guys, what they were doing, they were actually trying to open different accounts in the behalf of unsuspecting customers by taking money, deposit money that people, they put it in an account, put it in that different account, which is a non account, and at the end of the day, they are earning the interest by doing that, making profit by doing that. So they pay a 37.5 million fine. US bank will pay 37.5 million penalty to CFPB, and the CFPB will deposit it into the CFPB's victim relief funds. These funds provide the compensation to consumers harmed by the violation of a federal consumer financial protection law. fulfilled and retain all unlawful charged fees and costs for harmed the customers. U.S. Bank must develop a plan to remediate a harmed consumer by returning all unlawful charges, fees, and costs, plus the interest as well that they've been charged. So we can see that these Bank of Americans, there's a lot of investors that are actually benefited through the other banks when they were actually when they were actually getting the returns from the profit that they're making from a different bank. So what it does, it pushes the indices or the price of the bit. So what it is, it's like as if nani le if ukuthi the investors of different banks bafake imali in the banks, and these guys they start making a profit imnandi just because of whatever that they invest, and they become there's a return that is actually coming. But if you look at it, the return is they are getting the return by just overcharging maybe the clients more fees, or opening the fake accounts where they're taking the people's money and put it on a fake account, and those fake accounts start generating the interest. They get those returns. So in a world of finance, it's been really, really crazy. And those investors, they're the ones that push S&P 500 to goes all the way to 5,000 MAC, even surpass that 5,000 MAC right now. The other instrument that actually surpassed the 5,000 MAC, it's a Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we've been if you've been watching our daily trade analysis, because we do release also almost every day, analyzing the trade based on the fundamental, what type of fundamental are they, and actually try to analyze those trades and try to give to people so that people can take advantage and be able to actually start actually making money. But all those videos that we've been doing, we've been talking about Bitcoin from the price that it was $31,000. From the price of $31,000, I think it was around last year, November, December. And again, it get to the CEO of Binance, where he get fined. I don't know if you still remember the story of CEO of Binance. So the Binance story, it's really, really, crazy. I don't know a lot of people if they were following it. But this is what actually pushes the price of ETFs to go all the way up, and which is boosting the Bitcoin to go to all the way to all time high, one of the all time highs. So the Binance, they were operating in Germany without having the license, right? So they were like an offshore company. That is a wallet that you can be able to transfer your money and buy a Bitcoin or a Lithium or a Rectium or Shiba or whatever coin it is, and actually keep it in a Binance. Once it grows, your amount of money based on a percentage you buy for that coin also, it actually grows. But the problem is they're actually having a client of a different region. That region needs you to be regulated, right? You cannot be able to actually, do the business in Germany in terms of especially the Bitcoin business or the cryptocurrency business, and be able to actually, have clients from there without having a license. So the Germans, they caught them. The CEO of Binance were fined it, I think around November, December, and he stepped down. From that step down, new CEO, they actually, come in, pushes the price. The ETFs started again to pushing the price up, because people, they said, oh, okay, if the Bitcoin, it's actually going all over, that means this thing, it's, we should really, really keep an eye on it and start putting money on it, because eventually it will be able to actually give us a good results, and which is the results we are seeing right now, right? So the Bitcoin hovers nearly all-time peak as a crypto draws record inflow. Micro Strategy buys 12,000 more Bitcoin for 821.7 billion. So another companies that are actually pushing this thing up. You remember when the Bitcoin last time it get to 62,000, it was Elon Musk trying to actually, buy, and saying that you can actually use Bitcoin to buy the cars that you produce on a Tesla. So that that information spikes up the Bitcoin. I remember again when the Visa trying to link themselves with the Bitcoin, with the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, so that you can be able to transfer money via Visa, Swift, but putting the Bitcoin on it. Also, that one we saw it spikes all the way up. So again, here it's a big companies that they're realizing that, hey guys, there's a lot of money in this, and let's actually pump it up. And I'm gonna give you another reason why I think these big investors and the big companies, they're actually pumping money in Bitcoin, right? All right. So Bitcoin at 100,000 focus are looking more realistic in the option market. Bitcoin mining daily revenue hits a record as a token price surges. So we're seeing a different types of sectors of the cryptocurrencies also hitting all-time highs or getting to close to all-time high. Uh, what is the article says here? So the purchasers were funded with the proceeds of convertible note seller. A MicroStrategy in total held of 205,000 Bitcoin as of the March the 10th. This is what actually spikes everything. The MicroStrategy Inc., the company, bought another 12,000 Bitcoin for 821.7 million, the second largest purchase by the enterprise software maker since it began acquiring the cryptocurrencies almost 4 years ago. So these are the companies that they're realizing that this is the future, and this what is going to actually bring us a lot of money. The other thing is also it's the wars that are actually happening at the moment, right? If you think about it, the war between Ukraine and Russia, and actually Russia has been sanctioned that they cannot be able to use, things like Visa, things like Swift to transfer money from their region to another. Now, if they run out of the weapon to go do their war in Ukraine, how are they going to buy, the weapon from a different area? They can't buy with the rupees, they can't buy with their own Russian rupees, their own currencies. You have to buy is either with a dollar, pounds, or the other option it's a cryptocurrencies. So this is what actually started increasing the volatility or the movement of a Bitcoin, because of now it has a market. Now there's people that are actually trying in a different areas, different region, to buy cryptocurrencies so that they can be able to buy their own weapons, or even things to use to countries like Russia at the moment. And if you look at it, how many countries they're being sanctioned by whether European or United States, that they cannot be able to use the SWIFT. I think in Africa here we have Zimbabwe right next to us, that they cannot be able to use these things because of the being sanctioned. The only thing that they can do, that is why the Zimbabwean dollar has been dollarized all the time. Once they're trying to fix that with the Zimbabwean Federal Reserve, because of the sanction now it's still killing you, because you cannot exchange with a with other type of currencies. You cannot use that and go participate in a business in a different area. So that's actually what I see is that actually driving the cryptocurrencies at the moment, and the cryptocurrencies has been actually spiking up. I'm going to try to get a screenshot, pop it up there, and actually you can see how much the cryptocurrencies is performing at the moment. The last time I checked, it was sitting at $72,000 from $31,000 on December to $72,000. Guys, that's a lot. That's a lot of margin or movement or bulishing of the movement in that way. That is why these companies, they're keeping on pumping up money, buying this cryptocurrency, because there's now a market. If I have 500,000 coin, right? And you're from Russia, you want to buy something, you're going to look for a person who has the coin, right? And then the price goes up. Right now, it's sitting at 71. They're expecting that is going to go to 100,000 per coin. So even if you buy it now, you're not actually losing, because of definitely it will get to that level. So now, if I bought it, if there's someone like this company bought 12,000 Bitcoin, if they bought this 12,000 Bitcoin at a price of, let's say, for example, because right now it hiked, maybe they bought it at a price of 60,000 or 65,000. Right now it's sitting at $75,000, right? If the other cryptocurrencies they bought it at a price of 30,000, right now it's sitting at $72,000. That's a double your profit, right? That's a 200% profit day that you are actually killing it. So that is why these companies they're actually participating. Bitcoin at 100,000 focus are looking more realistic in the option market. So that is why they're saying that let's buy it, because of the focus is actually telling us that the future is 100,000, which is actually the instrument that measures these things in terms of how the future is going to come, right? After long being scoffed at as more hyper from the crypto, evangelist Bitcoin at 100,000 prediction are beginning to look like a realistic. So that's the story they whereby uh, the realistics, it's actually Bitcoin to get to 100,000. So that's what cooking in terms of the cryptocurrencies. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people were not actually participating in a cryptocurrency, and trust me, this is where this is where you can grow your money, but we're always afraid of getting, participating in a crypto, and you don't need to put all your money there. You can just maybe buy a certain amount of Bitcoin, even if you bought that time a coin for worth it for 2,000 rand, 10,000 rand, 5,000 rand. Right now, if you bought it at a 31,000 per coin, right now the coin is sitting at 72,000. How much money you be already? How much margin already you be, in a game already, or in your account already? So that's regarding the Bitcoin. Of course, the consumer price index from US is actually coming also today. So we're anticipating to see those numbers. Jeremy Powell actually, is going to release those. Producer price index again, it's coming, on Thursday. We are expecting also to see the numbers of consumer price index. Budget has been released from US, from UK. But another thing also, the Bank of Japan, they're actually, anticipating to increase the interest rate. So this is where it's going to be really, really tricky. That's why other economists and CEOs of the bank, they said, don't take it out. The idea of that the US can go on a recession, it's still on the table, because already we're seeing different types of region increasing the interest rate instead of decreasing. They've been increasing during the COVID-19 so that they can cover their fiscal policies, but now they still continue increasing, including the Bank of Japan. They are expecting to increase, I think, today. So a lot of volatility when it comes to instrument like the Japanese yen, JP225, Nikkei. You can see a lot of volatility there. Some type of news: Russia crude shipments rebounded to the highest level this year. Premiers show the candidate take win on a TikTok but lost at the polls. Actually, TikTok, there's a conversation that TikTok, it might be banned in the United States because of it's a Chinese product. So you see now Trump is coming, and already there's a lot of things that looks like they're going to do what Trump is being, doing. Bank of Japan considering the March hiking with the outcome too close to call a source of say. So how the Bank of Japan is being, they want to increase this interest rate. It's crazy because they haven't been increasing at this highest level since 2009, and they're going to come on in 2014 to increase it more. So it's really crazy. So Bank of the Japan officials are edging close to rise the interest rates, and will decide whether to move this month at the next week policy meeting, or with the outcome currently to close to call. According to the people familiar with the matter, a final decision will be made after the officials see the initial tally from the spring wages talk due to Friday. According to the people, a strong result could create a final increase of the interest rate. So crazy stuff there that are actually, happening when it comes to the to actually a Bank of Japan. So yeah, guys, it's been really really interesting in terms of in terms of the markets. But yeah, locally in terms of the forex market, the market has been performing very very well. A lot of people have been actually making a very very good profit when it comes to markets. We saw Bitcoin. Imagine people that are they were participating in Bitcoin. That means they've been eating. To be honest, they've been actually chowing a lot. So that was an opportunity there. That always keep on participating in a global market. See what exactly it's actually it's happening there. Okay, so now we want to get someone who's going to give us a little bit of insight in terms of how he think the market is performing. So I don't know if he's going to pick up, but this is one of the greatest guy in terms of understanding the global market and so on and so forth. So let's see if he's going to pick up. All right, man. Okay. All right. He's not picking up, but no worries. No worries. I think Wiz his other number. Let me just check another number of his. Okay. Busy time, but no worries. I wanted at least he give us a little bit of break time in terms of breakdown in terms of how the market are actually looking. But yeah, man, there's been a lot of things that are actually interesting. I think if you know a broker, local broker, 360 Capital, they had a seminar in Cape Town, and to all people who are living in Cape Town, that was opportunity to actually participate in that. Again, the seminar is coming. It's gonna come to Johannesburg, and again, it's gonna go all the way to Durban. So that's another thing that we are looking forward here locally in South Africa in terms of the brokers. We're seeing different brokers like TD Market. They're trying to open another office in a different region of Africa. So it's been a lot of people coming from all over and open up the brokers. I'm seeing a lot of new guys coming up and open up the brokers. But guys, we really, really, really need to be careful these days. Make sure we trade with a broker that we trust. We make sure that our money it's safe when we are actually participating in a global market. These some brokers, they actually open and 2 3 months they close. I've seen a broker open actually 4 months close down. Imagine that's not how you do business. That's not how you run. So we are locally, we need to really really pay attention and go to the brokers that are actually are going to help us and that will stay for longer and for our benefit. We can learn more through those brokers, engagement with the broker and so on and so forth. But yeah, I still want one of the broker person who worked there to sit down with me. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We are organizing that type of engagement, that type of a chat with different types of industry players from different brokers. So thank you very much for tuning in. Keep subscribing. Share with other guys. Guys, you don't need to watch alone. Share with the other guys the information that it can help you. My name is Che Yusuf.